2026 is officially out. We have the January numbers for Florida, so let's dive right in. All right, so we're going to start with Broward County single-family homes. So closed sales were down compared to last year. Median sales price down 3.1% compared to last year. That's good news for buyers. And I want you to pay attention here, month supply of inventory. Now, if you guys recall, last month in December, it had dropped to 4.8. It's now sitting at 5.1. So some of that in December could be, you could credit that to seasonality, the holidays. But, it's good now. We're going to compare here from January this year of January last year. There was no change in month supply of inventory. So, this is a balanced market, anywhere between 5 and 6 months. I tend to believe that South Florida, especially the Tri-County area, is usually 4 to 5 months. So we're sitting right now at a pretty healthy balanced market between buyers and sellers. Okay, moving over to Miami-Dade County, closed sales were up compared to last year, 2.8%. Median sales price sitting just around $700,000 for Dade County. So opposite of Broward here. Broward was in the negative, a little over 3%. Dade is in the positive, close to 4%. And month supply of inventory. So this is definitely favors more of a buyer's market still in Dade County. You can see 6.4 months. This is not only up from last month, but up from last year when we look at it, 5.6 months up to 6.4. So a lot of active inventory still in the single family homes in Dade County. All right, moving over to Palm Beach County, closed sales up 10%. That's a good increase compared to last year. Look at their median sales price up 7.7%. They're sitting coincidentally the exact same as Dade County, right around $700,000. Their month supply of inventory, look compared to last year, they're actually down a little. They're at 5.5, sitting at 5.2. So once again, this is a pretty healthy, balanced market. We'll continue to watch this because if this starts to dip below 5 months, we might start to see this shift more towards a seller's market. But definitely right now, I would consider this a balanced market in the South Florida area when it comes to month supply of inventory. And let's look at Florida as a whole. So good news here. We have closed sales up almost 6% compared to last year. Median sales price down 1.2%. And month supply of inventory, almost identical compared to last year, 5.1 sitting at 5.2. So the state as a whole is definitely a balanced market right now. Okay, now we're going to jump over to townhouses and condos. So Broward County, closed sales down 2.8%. Median sales price down a little over 8%. No surprise here. Townhouses and condos still struggling. And month supply of inventory, look at that. We were already at a high number to start the year last year, 10.8 months, and now we're sitting at 11.5. So this is a huge buyer's market and will probably remain so for the next year or two when it comes to townhouses and condos. Quickly over to Dade County, closed sales only down 0.1%, practically even compared to last year. Median sales price, unlike Broward County, a slight increase, 1.2% positive. And then month supply of inventory. I mean, just look at that. They were at Dade County 11.9 months, now up to 13.7. Huge buyer's market. Even though there's a ton of inventory, though, look at median sales price still hanging out in the positive territory. And over to Palm Beach County, closed sales up 8.7%. Really good news as far as transactions are concerned. Median sales price down 1.5%, not too bad for townhouses and condos. And then month supply of inventory. Look at Palm Beach County, so much different than Dade and Broward. Not only is their month supply lower, but look at that. It's not only at 9.3 months, but compared to last year, 9.7. So it's trending down. So this is good news for Palm Beach County when it comes to sellers, at least for the townhouses and condos market. Definitely seems like it's improving there. All right, we'll round it off here with Florida townhouses and condos. Closed sales up 5.1%. Good news for the state. Median sales price down 2.4%. And then we look at month supply of inventory. This has actually risen. It just seems like Palm Beach is kind of like the outlier here. Everyone else, we've seen an increase in supply, 9.1 to 9.7. So obviously you can see Florida definitely still has a healthy supply of inventory for townhouses and condos, but really that supply when it comes to Dade and Broward is excess supply, I would say, compared to the rest of the state. So look, we had a little bit of an inventory shift there. It was definitely trending down. Then we've seen a little bit of a spark this month in January, which makes sense because once again, we were comparing last month, December, the holidays, the seasonality issue. You're not going to have as much inventory on the market. But now we start a new year. It should pick up from here. We should start to see inventory levels slowly climb back, especially as we enter the spring season. But buyers, once again, great opportunity for you. We have a balanced market, it looks like, with inventory. You have interest rates that are definitely a full % lower compared to they were last year. So good opportunity for those that can't afford to buy. I know affordability is still an issue, but if you can pull the trigger, now is as good a time as ever, because just keep in mind, as we get closer to the spring, that's when competition heats up. So if you have the opportunity to buy before the busy season, this next month would really be your opportunity. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope you all have a great day. Take care.